Hello my friends, and welcome back, finally, after a whole year of no Pokemon content. I finally got something new for you. Yeah, I've actually been in this SPL for 4 weeks now, but I chose to be a sub because I wasn't really feeling that confident after being out for a year. But this fourth week they needed me, so obviously I stepped up to the plate. A quick run through my team. It's a offensive Defog Roost Flygon, Stealth Rock Diancie, Mega Bomb Snow, U-Turn Fletchinder, Taunt Wisp Standard Jelly, and Scarf Baton Pass Durant. Originally went off of Pearl's core, kind of Diancie and a Bomb Snow. I thought to add Jellicent and Flygon for Defog, and Jellicent just because it deals with a lot of weaknesses for the team. And then Flaming Victini, he helps like iron out sets and just bring the whole thing together really. But yeah, that's the team, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it. Alright, so turn 1. Yeah, looking at his team, Tangrowth is looking like quite a threat, but Jellicent is looking like it deals with the majority of his team pretty nicely. Between Will-O-Wisp and Scald, he can't really break through my Jellicent, so I decided to leave with it. If he led with Tangrowth, that would have been a bit annoying, but I didn't think it was very likely. So he leads with Durant, I lead with Jellicent. Even if he's choice banded, a Crunch won't OHKO me and I can Wisp it, and then we both have like kind of ruined Pokemon turn 1, but I could find a chance to recover up on his Bronzong, whereas he'd be pretty much dead for the rest of the match. I decide to stay in here and Wisp, and he does decide to switch out, which makes me think that either he doesn't have Crunch or he might not be choice banded, because that could have been a favourable trade, but I'm still not certain at this point. He decides to go out to Tangrowth because that's really the only thing that can A, I want to take a Wisp, and B, can even take on my Jellicent, because it's fairly unlikely that his Sigilyph can. Even though I'm physically defensive, he'd need Energy Ball to really break through me. So he goes out Tangrowth, and here, I'm not sure what set he is, so it's pretty risky what I go to here. I do have 2 quad resists to Grass, but Durant still can't take a strong Leaf Storm very well, and Fletchinder has a chance of dying in one hit to Hidden Power Rock or Ancient Power, so I do go out to Fletchinder in the end, just because I thought it was very unlikely that turn 1 he would make a play like that. And Leaf Storm, as you can see, it was a crit, but as you can see, Leaf Storm still does a lot of damage to this Fletchinder. It would do around 40 to 50 even without the crit. Although the crit is unfortunate, so I'm going to be forced to roost up here. If he hadn't got a crit, I probably still would have roosted, but I would have the potential to go for a U-turn if he got a low roll or something. But yeah, I roost up here, goes out to Bronzong to try and get his rocks up, I assume, or to Toxic me. But either way, that's fine. He doesn't have a Heal Bella, so I go for Wisp. Unfortunately, I miss, which is fairly annoying, but I mean, it doesn't matter too much because he doesn't really have physical attacks to hit me with. But then I get some Karma, he misses the Toxic, and now that I have him burned, I think time to U-turn out of here. Just go out the Flygon, because I need these rocks gone, because I have the Bomb Snow, I have the Fletchinder, and I don't need them getting whittled. He goes for Psychic though, which kind of surprises me, but I have Roost on this Flygon, and that doesn't come closer to it KOing, so that's fine. And with him being burnt, he's slowed again, whittled down, so I just go for the Defog here. And then he misses Toxic again, which again is fairly unfortunate, but he has already got a crit and dodged the Will-O-Wisp, so I'd say we're fairly even at this point. And I'm just going to roost up here, because I don't want to be too low if he Psychics again or anything like that, or if I do have to take the Toxic. But he decides to go out to Aerodactyl, and the only reason to go to this is presumably because he had Ice Fang, so I can't risk staying in here, and my best switch in is Jellicent because it can tank Stone Edges, and he does end up going for Stone Edge, so either he bluffed the Ice Fang and doesn't have it, or he just predicted me to switch out anyway. But yeah, my Jellicent can tank that, but I'm going to be forced to recover up here because I need this at high health if I'm going to have it take on the Durant. But yeah, and he uses this opportunity to go back out to the Tangrowth, and again I'm in that position where it's really risky whatever I do. If I stay in, I could die to Leaf Storm. If I go to Fletchinder, I can die to Ancient Power, but I decide to go back out to Fletchinder just because I don't think he'll do it. And he ends up going for Focus Blast, and that miss was pretty unfortunate. I mean, we all know it's Focus Blast what that was, and that Focus Blast would have done around 50% to my Fletchinder, but the reason it's significant is because if I Roost, obviously I lose my Flying type, and then Focus Blast will be doing double that damage if he hits. So that one was actually pretty unfortunate, I will say. I could have obviously switched back to Jellicent, or we could have prediction mind games around that if he hadn't missed, but I mean there's nothing I can do about that. And now knowing that he's going to be forced to switch out here, because obviously if he stays into Focus Blast again, and I can U-turn straight back out to Jellicent, that's fine, so I get guaranteed momentum here. He goes out to Quillfish to get the Intimidate off, and I go out to a bomb snow to get my Mega Evolution because nothing really else on my team really deals with this well. If I do go to Flygon, that can potentially give him just another free switch back into Tangrowth, which is always threatening because I still don't know fully what its moveset is. So yeah, I just Mega Evolve here, and I was fairly confident he wouldn't have Poison Jab or anything, so I didn't think there was much risk of me just clicking Blizzard here. And he goes out to Bronzong. That doesn't do much, but the Hail and the Burn combined is going to bring down to 24%, and I do have Focus Blast on this, so as long as I can hit, I can take it out. And do I hit? Yes, I do, because my Pokemon like me, right? And now he goes out to Durant to scare me out or revenge kill me. At this point, again, I still don't know this Durant set, so I'm thinking I can't risk going into Jellicent, because if he does Thunder Fang or Crunch, there's a chance I'll be 2-hit KO'd. And Flygon at this point, now that his Stealth Rock has just died, is not really important on my team, because I don't need to defog anymore, so I decided to go out to Flygon. And yeah, and if he does Thunder Fang, then that's really good for me, and he does end up doing that. And now I'm just free to fire for Dragon Claw, because I know he can't stay in, and he goes out to Quillfish. And after an Intimidate, that still does a lot of damage, 34%, so that tells me that this Quillfish is actually offensive, so he potentially did have Poison Jab, but I imagine if he had that, he would have stayed in, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he switched out. I maybe didn't have it, but yeah, he switches out again here to Tangrowth, predicting my Earthquake, or predicting me to switch out, I'm not sure. And now he's got this threat back in again, and I can't remember what I do here. Who do I go to here? I go to Flesh Endure again, and he Leaf Storms again. So that is the third time I've used Flesh Endure to counter this thing. So it's looking pretty nice for me. And at this point I'm assuming, like, okay, he must not have an attack to touch my Flesh Endure with, because if he did, I presume he would have gone for it by now. And the turn he went for Focus Blast, I assume he would have gone for something else, because Focus Blast only hits a Bomb Snow harder on my team, but if he was predicting that, then he could have Leaf Storm for like 50% damage anyway. So I can only assume he has nothing to hit me with at this point. But again, I'm going to need to roost up, because I do need this to keep tanking Leaf Storms for me. He takes the opportunity to go back out to Aerodactyl. I don't go to Jellicent this time, because I think it's time to get my rocks up. And in case, was there another reason I went out to this? I guess, yeah, just to get my rocks up, and I didn't want to risk getting crit by Stone Edge, because Jellicent was too important. So yeah, I get my rocks up now, which is going to be really important for residual damage, especially on the Aerodactyl. And on this for a potential either Ice Shot cleanup or Acrobatics cleanup later on. He goes out to Durant here, and this time I still can't risk Jellicent. Flygon isn't that useful, so I just sack it here. And he reveals that he is in fact Choice Banded. So my Scarf Durant can outspeed it if it comes down to it, guaranteed. But switching in Jellicent is going to be very risky now, if he predicts it. But yeah, I get to force it out with Flesh Endure here. He goes out to Sigilyph. And I get a crit, but that doesn't actually matter, because it would have done 60% without it, and obviously Flesh Endure is going to out-prioritize the next turn with Acrobatics. But then this turn he goes out to Quillfish, so I'm not sure why he does this, because I can only assume it was a misclick, because there was no reason for him to go to Sigilyph initially if he planned to do this. Maybe he didn't expect it to 2-hit KO or something, I can't really explain it outside of a misclick. But then his Quillfish reveals that as Aqua Jet, and it does a decent chunk, 61%. He was attack invested, but he might have had Explosion or something else over Poison Jab. But yeah, so now he's got a severely weakened Sigilyph and a dead Quillfish, which works out well for me. But now I am not at the health to tank another Leaf Storm, so if he brings Tangrowth in again, I'm going to have to sack something else. He brings in Aerodactyl here. I was kind of worried about the Pursuit, but fortunately he doesn't have it. And my Jellicent is the only thing that can take this on at this point, so I'm forced to go to it. Unfortunately he doesn't crit, he does get a high roll, but it doesn't 2-hit KO, so it doesn't matter. I have to recover again, because I still need it for Durant, I still need it for Aerodactyl. And now that my Fletch Endure is 29%, I can't switch that into this, so I have to set Diancie, because that's got rocks up, and it doesn't really do... it does decent against the rest of the team, but it's the least useful thing. So down it goes, and now that he's Leaf Stormed, I'm free to get off another Roost. If I had SD here I win, but obviously I revealed U-turn earlier, so I can't do that. And there was a small... he could have made a risky play here on my Roost. He could have gone out to Durant, and if he did that, then he would have forced me out again the next turn, and if he predicted my Jellicent correctly, that could have gone really well for him. But if I Acrobatics, then he would have just lost the game right there, so I can understand why he didn't do it. But if he had, he would have swung momentum heavily in his favour. Instead he just makes a safe play, goes out to Sigilyph on my Roost just to sack it. And now he goes back out to Durant again, because He knows he can hit it with... I'm not sure why he goes up to this actually. I guess it was just to scare me out. But he does end up going for Iron Head anyway. I'm not actually sure what he predicted there, because he's already revealed Thunderfang. I guess maybe he predicted a Bomb Snow. That's the only thing I can think of really, because he could have Thunderfanged and hit these two for super effective and this for neutral. But he decides to go for Iron Head, and that's not even a 3-hit KO, I don't think, so that's fine. I'm just going to stay in the Scold. I don't need to overpredict with double switching at this point, just going to play it safe. Does a decent chunk to his Tangrowth, and after Rocks and Burn, that's taking him down about 10% every time he switches into this, which is slowly putting him in range of acrobatics from Fleshender. And as you see here, he actually reveals that he had Ancient Power all this time, and I switched in Fleshender to counter this thing about 4 times, and any time that I will Fleshender in, he could have Ancient Powered and killed this Fleshender, and really probably lost me the game if he does that, because I don't have anything else to take Leaf Storms. But for whatever reason he didn't do it, and this is what makes the Focus Blast play a few turns earlier on my Fleshender really odd, because again, if he predicted my Bomb Snow, then Leaf Storm still does like 60% of that, and if you do predict my Fleshender, then Ancient Power, that's going to OHKO me. So I really don't understand it. But yeah, he Ancient Powers, doesn't get the boost fortunately, and I'm just going to wait in here and Scold a few times. I could have recovered up, but I didn't want to risk him switching out or anything like that. So and I don't need Jettison. It would have been nice to have, but I don't need it at this point, and I don't need to risk anything like that. So I let myself get whittled, and I take out the Tangrowth. So now, as long as I play smart, I win this game pretty much. At this point, I was debating whether to go out to a Bomb Snow first, and then get the Hail up, and then Ice Shard it, and then like guarantee a KO with acrobatics. But regardless of what order I did it in, I was fairly certain I could secure a win. A max roll, he needs a max roll on Iron Head to kill me here, and he doesn't end up getting it, so Fleshender is just going to clean up. He goes out to Aerodactyl, and after the Rocks, even though it resists, it won't be able to tank this. And yeah, I get my revenge on Ginku, and I plan to be playing a few more games after this. You know, I'm feeling a bit more confident again, so expect more Pokemon content from me in the future. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.